Digital greetings, for all. I'm Javier Guerrero and today I will review a small projector with DLP projection technology, the BlitzWolf VT2 Pro Max. But don't be carried away by appearances, because this small projector with an integrated battery will surprise you. The new update of the VT2 is now called Pro Max, and when we open its box we see that it arrives in a nice canvas case. Very useful to take it anywhere, which makes it truly portable, and when we open it we find all the accessories that come with it. This projector. A 12-volt and 2-amp voltage adapter. A basic but practical infrared remote control. It also comes with a small tripod with short legs, which is great to place in any position, and finally there is the mini DLP projector in a very nice design, and it literally fits in the palm of your hand. This projector has a rectangular design, is easily manipulated and is built from a combination of hard plastic and aluminum that is quite soft to the touch. On the front there is the small lens, an infrared sensor and a micro video camera for autofocus. On the sides it has grills for the entry of fresh air and the exit of two 3-watt speakers. On the back is the grill for the hot air outlet and its connections. One USB 2.0 input, a reset button, one USB Type-C charging input, the power button and one HDMI input. At the top are the touch buttons to control the projector, and at the bottom you have a standard 1/4 inch thread for a tripod. As you can see, this mini DLP projector is very easy to manipulate and transport, even for a child's small hands. In addition, it integrates its own tripod so you can conveniently place it at any projection angle. The VT2 Pro Max costs about $230, which is not very cheap, and that is due to its DLP technology, since it integrates a DMD chip or digital micro-mirror device, and these chips are somewhat expensive. Its main advantage is that it has an integrated battery and, since it is DLP, it can generate more brightness in a smaller space, and its disadvantage is that small DMD chips generally have low resolution. Despite that, it integrates all the necessary functions in a projector, and its specifications indicate its improvements compared to its previous version. DLP stands for Digital Light Processing, and this is what makes a DLP projector expensive. An LCD projector does not do any light processing. The LED light only illuminates an LCD screen that serves as a filter, and therein lies its disadvantage. Since LCD screens are dark, and since the LED is behind the screen illuminating it, not all the light can pass through it, and depending on the LCD, up to 40% of light can be dimmed. But that does not happen in a DLP projector, because in these projectors the LED is in front, and its light illuminates directly the DMD chip, which is practically a mirror made up of millions of micro-mirrors, where each micromirror represents a pixel. The DMD chip processes and modulates almost all the light that reaches it, and since it is a mirror, it reflects 99.9% of it, and that is why it is not necessary for the optical block to be so large, because almost all the light from the LED is used. Now you know why a DLP projector is better than an LCD one, but they are more expensive because they integrate other components, and the DMD chips in Full HD and 4K are sophisticated pieces of engineering, which you can only buy from Texas Instruments, which is the company that designed, patented and currently builds these DMD chips. Nothing better for this BlitzWolf projector than this BlitzWolf tripod. They match perfectly with its beautiful gray aluminum finish. After adjusting it well and turning it on, in a few seconds we will have this interface running under Android 9 on the VT2 Pro Max, and manual focus can also be done directly from the remote control by pressing a couple of buttons. Be careful, this is a non-certified Android, but at least with 2 GB of RAM, I have to admit that it runs smoothly. On the left is the configuration option, and it has several functions. From here you can change the language, connect to your Wi-Fi network, choose a certain brightness intensity, choose projection mode, zoom into the projection, correct height, correct width, correct the 4 corners, put a predefined background image, choose between 2 sound modes, manage applications, view device information, and configure the 3D function that this version integrates. This is the only screen in the interface. It is basic, but I think it is enough for this projector. Projecting a 70-inch widescreen, I am going to place the projector 3 feet away and measure the light intensity. It is irrelevant to do it with the lights off or with the lights on, because I have realized that the measurement does not look very affected. As you can see, they are about 236 lux, which in ANSI lumens represents less than that, so it is close to its promised 180 lumens. The VT2 Pro Max blows hot air through this grill, but it does so very gently, so I'll measure how loud its fan makes from 3 feet away. If you usually watch my videos, you will notice that it is one of the quietest, since 36 decibels is very low. Regarding the sound, the truth is that it is not very good, but since there are 2 speakers, they do sound relatively harsh. There are 2 ways to measure how quickly a projector responds to external stimuli and signals. The first is visual and is through screen mirroring, and this small projector also has that function. And with this video of the pendulum we can see how quickly the VT2 Pro Max receives the transmission and can duplicate it. I think there is a small delay, but it is very slight and could go unnoticed. The other way to measure is more technical and measures the input lag of the HDMI port with respect to the signals that enter. So, with my precision measuring instrument I will measure it. Note that this projector has an input lag of 80 milliseconds, so it is not recommended for competitive games, only for occasional games and entertainment at home or for playing with children. In the specifications of the VT2 Pro Max, it indicates that it can project up to 300 inches. Although I don't have a screen that big, I will project it at least 150 inches from my screen and adjust it perfectly to its surface. I can see that the brightness intensity is greatly reduced by expanding the screen, but that also depends on the quality and lighting of the video. For example, this video is well recorded and very well lit and I think it looks relatively good. The resolution from 6 meters away is average and up. I can slightly see the pixels, but it doesn't look pixelated either. I took this photograph with my cell phone to give you an idea, and as you can see, it is not that it is a bad projection, but what is true is that, when I get closer, these are the largest pixels that I have projected in my life, since which measure 4.5 mm each pixel at this projection size, which is very curious and interesting. But in general it doesn't look bad, friends. Even movies that have dark scenes can be seen as you are watching. Of course I would prefer it to be brighter, but this little projector does what it can and it's 180 lumens too. The best thing in this case would be to use it on a gray reflective screen, and that would make it much better. Although its specifications say 300 inches of projection, you will get the best images at a maximum of 100 inches. Beyond that the brightness dulls and you may not enjoy it the same. Here I am at 70 inches and the projection is good. Even in comics it is much better since they are recorded with more brightness and more colors. But the quality of the images it projects will also depend on the quality of the images of the streaming service you have. For example, if I project this new Netflix movie that is in 4K, it is obvious that the VT2 Pro Max will not project it in 4K. But it will scale it as best it can, and the truth is, the images are not bad. Even if I stop at a particular scene and take a photo to compare with the Wanbo TT's Full HD projection, this is what is observed. QHD versus Full HD. A big difference, right? But, in any case, this difference is seen very close up. But at 100 inches and from 4 meters it will look relatively good, and considering that you can take it wherever you want, perhaps that is a good plus to have a projector like this. The main advantage of the VT2 Pro Max is its autonomy, since it integrates an 8000 mAh battery, which according to the brand will give a couple of hours in high brightness, 4 hours in energy saving mode and about 6 hours as a Bluetooth speaker. That way you can take it wherever you want, like me, who will try it on a semi-dark wall, outside my house. With the BlitzWolf VT2 Pro Max, I can spend an afternoon on the beach with Rick, listening to music as a Bluetooth speaker and then switch to a projector if I want to watch TV. For that I will look for a couple of sticks on the beach and see what I can think of to improvise a screen. This towel could serve very well as a white canvas. And just like that, I already have my beach cinema, a little handmade of course, but it works very well. Even Rick came to sit and watch football. It was 7 o'clock at night testing this projector and it's time to go home. But on the way back I came across this large 300-inch pediment wall, and here I will do the final maximum screen test. What do you think? I'm 40 feet away and from here it's virtually impossible to see the pixels. With a white projection you can see the full magnitude of the projection, and the wall is green, because if it were white it would be better. But, anyway, I don't want to get your hopes up, because this projector has its advantages and disadvantages. Perhaps the resolution is its main disadvantage, but being able to do this outdoors could be a great advantage for many. Anyway, friend, you will draw your own conclusions. All I have to do is review one more projector and show you everything it is capable of doing. This is a mini travel projector. It is great for excursions to the beach or the countryside, for example. It is super compact, and you can take it wherever you want. I know it's not full HD and it's not even HD, but watching from about 20 feet away, it's also positively enjoyable. A DLP projector in full HD and with good brightness is above $500 and in 4K above $1,000. DLP projectors are more expensive, but they are obviously better, and a 4K one is the bomb. Soon I will review a couple of projectors that I have in full HD and 4K, and they will also soon be at Rifa Tech. If you got this far, it's because you liked the video, and if you really liked it, please subscribe. I'm sure it doesn't cost you anything and it motivates me a lot to continue creating this type of content. Help me, and let's democratize technology. Until the next video.